All right. Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Good. All right. So I want you guys to be comfortable. As you can see, I'm comfortable too. Going barefootless. I was wearing heels, so now I'm more comfortable. In 7th grade, I didn't want to go to college at all. When I came to high school, I was surrounded by people striving to go to Ivy League schools, and I immediately felt intimidated. I started to believe that I had to live up to a standard. I began to grow dark circles around my eyes and neglect the need to eat. I believe school is the one and only thing I needed to focus on. I prioritized it over my health, my friends, and my family. When I didn't see perfect grades, I would feel completely insignificant compared to others whom easily achieved what I worked desperately for. But as I further thought about my personal motive for success, I asked myself, is this really what I want to do? I saw people around me sacrificing their sleep and overall health to obtain a 4.0. Friends of mine are dealing with anxiety and depression caused by stress and insecurity. And when I ask them why they make these sacrifices, they aren't quite sure why. Or they respond with an answer that doesn't involve their personal motive for working hard, up to the point where they don't know what sleep is anymore. It seems as if many people are blindly climbing the ladder of supposed success without any real vision for themselves. Without vision, there is a lack of passion. It really works to spend time cultivating your interest around your work. Even if your passion is abstract from your daily task, incorporate it in a way that can fulfill you. My friend Darcy wants to become a fashion designer, and he hadn't drawn any sketches in months. He felt as if the day-by-day grind in school wasn't leading him to his personal success. I told him that we cannot avoid the schoolwork, but we can make sure we pursue our passion alongside our education by making a priority. Now when he gets home, he spends 30 minutes sketching before doing any homework. This is his time to unwind and remember why he's working hard. After just 30 minutes of doing what he loves, he gets through his homework encouraged to finish and start a new sketch. Focusing on growing as an individual can de-stress competition, lowering our obsessive need to climb the ladder of supposed success. We have the power to modify what we're working towards and our motive for reaching hard. In high school, getting into college has many obstacles that are impossible, but it isn't a short checklist. When you have your list and submit it, acceptance can feel like a lottery. Facing rejection in any circumstance, whether it be a job or specific social circle, can affect your tenacity to try again. At this point in our lives, we will face many mountains. Finding and pursuing your passion alongside will make competition with others insignificant. Staying true to yourself will remove you from the ladder of supposed success and start a new one that contains purpose that only includes you. As a kid, my parents let me pursue new hobbies and interests often. I explored soccer, modeling, guitar, and many more. I would constantly keep trying new things, and I never conformed to one hobby. So when I was trying to fill out a resume, I didn't know what to put. Other kids were forced to keep their hobbies, and now they were highly skilled. In anger, I asked my mom, "Why didn't you force me to stick with a hobby?" But I realized that was beside the point. I wanted to live for myself, not for the resume. When I asked a friend, "Who are you?" they replied by stating their occupation and their accomplishments. I asked again, "No, but who are you really?" Despite the fact I didn't have a defined hobby or a specific college in mind, I knew who I was. I knew through my eagerness to try new things that I was curious. Sometimes it feels as if people value what you do rather than who you are. As high schoolers, we are at a time in our lives when we have to define ourselves. What type of people are we? How have we given back to our community? And what matters to us? Frankly, these are the things they're going to ask you on college applications. Your transcript is one thing, but the personal essay section is all you. I've come to believe that we cannot let our achievements be what defines us. When somebody meets you for this first time, it's more likely they're going to remember how you made them feel rather than what you said. They're going to remember the first impression you've made. I got hired in a workplace commonly offered to college students, but at the age of 15. I was allowed this opportunity because of experience, hard work, and dedication. And that's not something I learned from a textbook or from years of practice. It's been from trial and error and putting myself out of my comfort zone, from being willing to try a bunch of new sports, from reflecting after each hobby I tried, and seeing the opportunity to grow. Of course, I didn't get everything right the first time, but I walked away with optimism and confidence to keep exploring new things for fun, not for the resume. When you fall into the trap of defining yourself by what you do instead of who you are, then you experience failure in a more painful way. You are not a failure because you have failed in life. You are a failure because of choosing to keep going. Who you are is one of the most important things to seek. It will determine what you choose to pursue and how you handle defeat. If you have failed in life and have seen the ways to grow from defeat, you will realize failing is a part of finding what you're made of. I learned this lesson quite young as I pursued my dream of becoming a supermodel. I remember countless auditions, practicing my catwalk in my living room, and waiting to hear back from agencies. When I was 12, I entered a pageant that had several rounds of competition, starting with regionals to statewide and then nationwide. When the state pageant came, I had given it my all. My whole family was there to support me, and unfortunately, I didn't make it to the national pageant. From this moment in time, I learned that when facing failure, it's not the end. I could have become insecure and down on myself. Instead, I thought, what's next? This is not failure, this is a growing moment. So when you feel discouraged by a setback and begin to doubt your own capabilities, you get up and say, what's next? Then you take time to reflect and set a game plan for what you can do to excel. A majority of it was hard work, repetition, and balance. Everything else was believing and knowing that it wasn't the end, that there are always more and more ways to grow as long as I was willing to. Instead of being so hard on myself, I stepped back to get a better perspective. I could have gone in so many different directions and reacted negatively, but I choose to be positive. I often remind myself and others around me that we have the ability to choose how we react. Attitude in failure makes a huge difference. You could let the pressure get to you and become easily overwhelmed by mistake, but life's full of mistakes. It is important now to realize our wrongs and know we could always come back from them. We could always grow from that standpoint. Oprah Winfrey survived through a childhood of severe abuse and poverty, and was also fired from her position as co-anchor from CBS Nashville. But eventually, she created her own network channel, talk show, and magazine. In high school, Michael Jordan was cut from the varsity basketball team. From that point forward, he imagined a list without his name on it, and it motivated him to train harder. While on the topic of basketball, I want to define a vocabulary word. In basketball, an assist is attributed to a player who passes the ball to a teammate in a way that leads to a shot, meaning that he or she was assisting in the basket. Let us assist each other towards our common goals. These goals can be passing high school, pursuing your dreams, or leaving your mark. By working on ways we can grow together, we can achieve these goals and strengthen our communication skills. In the future, you will be able to look back on all the people who supported you and open your perspective. One of my favorite quotes by author Paulo Coelho says, "When we strive to be better than we are, everything around us becomes better too." This brings me to my conclusion, and this is what I want you to take home. The importance of nourishing your personal motive despite the status quo. This starts with staying true to yourself. I challenge you to reflect on who you are, what you love, and think about what it might look like to use your character and your gifts to help other people. Thank you.